there. Thank you for joining me this evening on another exciting Cooking with Dan Leslie show. My name is Janet Rapasardi-Hoff. I'll be your host this evening, and we're back here in the kitchen with Dan. Hi, Dan.
Hey, Janet. How you doing?
How are you?
Hi, Greg. How you doing? Not too badly. How you doing? Spring is here. The leaves are on the trees. My allergies are back. Do you do anything with that or no?
Terrible.
Oh,
Yeah.
my Lord. I could get the itchy eye stuff. I have to take the stuff that's slightly drowsy. I can't take it, I'm telling you. One cocktail and I'm out.
How about the no drowsy stuff? Does that work?
I feel like
Doesn't work.
I could be getting the wrong thing, but I think if you want to get something for your eyes, I think it's drowsy all the way.
Oh, boy.
I know. I hate that.
Not good.
So, what are we going to do?
What are we going to do?
Got to cook a few dishes here. Some little pizzas. I've cooked one off about halfway. We have these little personalized pizzas. And I wanted to add a few garnishes to that and put it in the oven and show you how I just prepare it. Most of the things I do are, you know, your basic type of pizza, you know, different garnishes, sausages and mushrooms and stuff. But, you know, you can add a few things. We're going to put a little grilled eggplant on there. You know, we're not going to get too funky here, but I want to get a few different vegetables on.
Sure.
We're also going to make a couple of sandwiches I've been doing. We serve them with a little pasta, and if we have time, I wanted to cook a veal dish that's been very popular for me. I've taken the time to cook this pizza off halfway. Now, I don't know how you like your pizza, but I'm the type that I don't like it right out of the oven, all gushy, gooey, and nothing happening with the crust. It's something that holds sauce and cheese is all it gets reduced to. But I like to have it where if I could have a pizza come out, you don't want it 9 days old, but I'd like to get it down to temperature and then put it back in the oven. And it gets that little crisp on the bottom. You know, I don't really want it wafer-like. You need a chisel to get through it, but that little crispette, you know, it's really, really nice. So I like to cool it off one time and then put it back in the oven. And some of the things we would garnish the pizza with, you don't want to bake in there for 9,000 hours either, you know. Right. So we want to just, this is how I prefer it. I know my wife likes it right out of the oven, you know, the cheese is hot, hot, hot like that. And, you know, whatever, to each his own. But that's how I'm going to do it, my way. So as you see, I put a little sauce on here. I didn't dominate it crazy with the cheese. The crust isn't crazy thin. It's on the thin side. You know, some people, they get those wide. There's 9,000 combinations. The main thing is it's something you bake. Generally has a red tomato sauce that goes in 9,000 directions. Some cheese, although you do see the white pizzas now. Yes. And the crust goes from wafer thin to medium to like a block of cement. I know, but you know, it's trendy. They have it folded over. Yeah. But basically, it's all the same thing. You're picking it up and you're eating the doggone thing, you know, and hopefully it's going to taste good and have a nice blend. So let me put a few things on and we'll slide it in the oven and see what we come up with. I've taken the time to grill a little eggplant. And I guess I'll slice it up. I was going to put some roasted peppers and some basil leaves on it, see if we can contrast the colors, and let's try that. So I guess how are we going to put this eggplant on here? It gets very flimsy because I do take the skin off, and we can just chunk it on here, which would be good, I guess. So how's your golf game going? You taking a few lessons or what?
One lesson.
Have you threatened your advisor yet, or just putting?
Just putting.
Oh, that's a big. If you can putt, it's a biggie.
Well, that's what he says. I don't know whether he was making me feel good or not. He said, well, you're doing remarkably well. Of course, that was only the first lesson.
Right.
I hear it goes downhill from there.
Well, you know, what they say, practice, practice, practice. You know, you have to have the time to do it, you know.
That's for sure.
But the putting is incredible when you add up the amount of strokes you'd throw away on a green.
Oh, my gosh, I know.
You know, it's really, really something. I'm going to cut the pepper into strips.
Now, I'm taking notes because I'm going to a pizza party this coming weekend.
Really?
Yeah.
Are they going to make their own pizzas, or are they?
Well, my girlfriend Erica, she's going to make her own dough, and she's got the cheese and she's got the sauce, and everybody else brings a variety of toppings. So this is going to be a good pre-run for the party.
I'll tell you, you want to be everybody's favorite at the party. Two things. Don't bring anchovies, number one. And number two, have some pepperoni. You can't lose. This one here is a little galami, right? Let's get him down to petite size. We do have some galami eggplant on there. That looks half human, right? Little color is working there. And like I said, we've already basically cooked this pizza. And we're all I'm going to do is try to get everything hot. The peppers are ready to go. This basil you can eat raw, you know, and so we're just going to put it in and heat it up. The main thing is you don't want to be eating something that they cooked 3 days ago. Let's try this. Let me put it in the oven here for a few minutes and we'll get started on something else. Let's see if, that's how it looks right now. We'll see what it looks like when it comes out of the oven. All right. Gonna turn this oven up as high as I can get it. All right. Let me scrub for a moment and I'll be right back. All right, here's what we're gonna do next. Got some eggplant out here. It's a different type of eggplant. We're going to add this to a chicken sandwich. We're going to try one of our chicken sandwiches and a steak sandwich. That's a nice piece of strip steak here. That's not a piece of shoe leather. Actually, it's borderline, almost too good for a steak sandwich. But what the heck, rather. We're going to. This is a family show. We're going to just whip up a little something with that. So I guess I'll get those started right now. I guess we'll try the steak first. All right, we got a little oil in the pan to cook the steak. Let me get the pan going just a little bit, and then I'm going to turn it down and work it with this lid. I like to do that. I try to create a little oven there as I'm cooking the thing. I want some pressure downward to cook it through because there's a tendency for a piece of meat like this that's dense, a steak, pork, things like that, that if you just try to saute it without a lid on it, you can tend to really brown and burn the outside before you don't want brown and then purple. I'm looking for get a little red all the way through, a little medium to medium rare all the way through. Alrighty, let's get the steak in the pan. I'm working on it right now. I mean, that's the whole steak I'll serve for dinner, and I guess I'll salt that up. Always want to season everything. I got a little kosher salt, and I'll put some on the other side. So here's what I'm going to do. Now I'm going to take this and turn it down about halfway, and I'll put this lid on the top. It's going to cook it downward also. I wonder how that pizza's doing. Yeah, give it another second or two. I'll put the chicken on first. Got a couple of pieces of chicken here.
Breaded lightly.
Sometimes I blacken the chicken for this sandwich too. If you like a little zippity-doo-dah to your meal, it's really a nice touch, you know, with the vegetables and all, and having that blackening mix there. We do the New Orleans hot.
Is that a mix that you use?
Yeah, well, we make our own. You know, we could buy it, and we have the New Orleans variety blackening mix, not the what do you call that? The fast food out on 46 blackening mix is a little more, little lighter than the way we'll do it. I guess this is done. Okay, we'll let it sit for a moment. I can see what we're going to do next time is garnish it with the basil leaves. They've kind of shriveled up a little bit on me. We're going to pick them off and garnish them with raw leaves. Brown that steak nicely, right?
Oh, that looks nice.
I'll salt the other side. I feel like if I salt that side first, it doesn't brown as well. I can see there's no real oil in the pan there. So to help it along, I'm just going to put a little tad more. Okay.
Just by placing that lid lightly over,
Yeah.
you're really cooking that whole thing entirely.
Yeah, we're really trying to force the heat through it. Okay, so now you see me make another boo-boo. I think one time you saw me, what did I do? I burned the garlic. That's what I did. Did I burn the garlic? Yes, I burned the garlic. Here we're going to Plan B for the basil here.
Okay.
Looks pretty nice, right?
Those look pretty nice.
Feel the bottom a little bit there. It's got a little crust to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'll be crunchy, but not too much, so.
Yeah, so I guess we're going to take these basil leaves and use them as a garnish afterwards. I should have thought of this, but I'll blame you, Janet, all right?
Oh, no. That's not fair, folks, is it?
Yes, yes. I got to blame somebody. That's what my wife says.
I'm the only one in the kitchen.
She says you got to blame somebody all the time. So that's you.
It's me.
That's it. All righty, let's try slicing this up. I guess we'll cut this into 6 pieces. First, I'll put it in half. And then we'll cut it this way. And you know, it's great too because a couple little kids can come in here and have some pepperoni or sausage or something, and you know, they can share it, for crying out loud, you know. Chicken's zipping along. And I guess what we'll do is, there's 6 slices, so I'll use 6 pieces of basil. I guess 1 for each.
Now you know what that's called, Dan.
What's that?
Putting on the green. Do you like that?
That's right. I'm going to have to remember that one, Janet. Well, there we go. A little pizza. I don't know what we'll call that, but, you know, something like it'll be a special pizza for me. Feels like it's rare. See the brown on the bottom there. If we were going to make a sauce with that, you know, it could be, that's really great base. All right, I'll turn this chicken off for a second. Just let the heat pass through that.
And those are still cooking then, by the way.
Oh, they're cooking right now. There's a lot of heat there. So I guess what we're gonna do together is we're gonna put these sandwiches together and get some pasta going. I'm gonna put a little penne vodka with the chicken and a little linguine marinara with the steak, and we'll plate them up and show our viewers what they look like. But it's a neat thing, you know, Wednesday night, and you're not up for a ham sandwich, and you're not up for a you know, a big dinner out or something like this. We're trying to give you, I'm trying to give you a little flavor and put a couple of things on the plate at one time to kind of make a meal out of something that just, you know, like I said, could have been a ham sandwich. We're trying to make a meal out of it.
It's quick and easy, and
Right.
more time on the green, right?
I think the steak will put a little more flame on it. All right, so I guess we'll do the chicken dish first. Put it over on our board. I'll move our little pizza out of the way. Get rid of the pan. I think if I turn the steak off like that, it'll finish itself in the pan, and by that time we'll be done with the chicken dish and we'll go right to the steak. Alrighty, I guess we'll put together our little chicken sandwich. I have some French bread. Normally I serve a little Italian bread, but this is, we don't want anybody breaking a tooth on the sandwich, so we go with a lighter, more petite type of French bread. I guess, what shall I put first? Got some eggplant here, and I've got some peppers. We'll try some roasted peppers. I try not to go too crazy with the pepper because the flavor is very dominant. I guess I'll put some of this lovely arugula. Onto it. I have to watch it. We're trying to figure out how to put this arugula on without having it. We want to get a lot of it on. I want this flavor jumping through. I love arugula.
I love arugula.
I need to make my day a little nicer and better. Boy, you break a little arugula open and get a sniff of that. I'm telling you, it's really got a special aroma to it. So I'm going to go heavy on the arugula. And to keep the, I guess this is good enough time to season this again. I didn't season the chicken, if you noticed. That's a little boo-boo on my part. However, I don't think I'll do that in the heat of the battle on a Friday night. I've already seasoned the eggplant. Let's see, I think that fits just about nicely, wouldn't you say?
Certainly does.
All right, so we've got the chicken, we have some roasted peppers, a little arugula, some eggplant, and I've got this balsamic vinaigrette in my little squirt bottle here. I've added a third salad, and we like to use this on it also. It's a little arugula salad. And here's our bread back on top. See if I can cut this without totally butchering the whole sandwich. All right. See if I can find a plate.
I tell you, Dan, the arugula with that balsamic is just really fragrant.
It's a nice little cutaway. A lot of colors there. A lot of colors there. And we'll serve some pasta with it. I'll add a little Parmesan, which melts pretty quickly. Hopefully I didn't cook away all of the sauce here, but our viewers will get the drift anyway. It's a nice fragrance, that vodka coming out of there, you know. A lot of vodka in the sauce.
We're gonna have fun.
Yeah, that's marrying up well. And notice that we put the Parmesan in, we don't put it back on the flame.
Okay.
Just toss it. If you have some nice stuff, it's going to melt right into the dish, okay? So don't feel like you have to cook with the Parmesan. Get it off the flame. Throw that and those fresh herbs and things like that, just like the pizza I butchered. All right, we're got a little pasta right in there. Guess I should move the sandwich back a little bit. I'm telling you, I go crazy, especially if that chicken. I like to blacken it a little bit. It's nice. Gets that more than one beer thirst going. And why don't we try a few baby peas on this? Okay, to give it some color. And there you have it. There's that chicken with arugula, roasted peppers, eggplant, and some vodka pasta baby peas. I'll move some of the stuff out of our way. I guess we won't need this. We'll need these lovely lads. We'll need this.
See some mozzarella in there.
That's right, a little fresh mozz.
Can't wait for Dan's fresh mozzarella cheese.
Gotta get the mozz out there. Alrighty, let's see how our steak's doing. It's probably medium well by now, but what the heck. I don't want to blow the place up. Let's see if I can. I'm left-handed. I'm cutting the other way here. I can work it like this. So we're going to slice this up a little bit. Yeah, it is a little more done than I wanted, ladies and gentlemen, but some people do like it that way. I do try to hit it more medium to medium rare. Well, you get the picture.
Oh, it looks good. Yeah, it's
I'll have to
pink.
cut it this way. It's pink. Right. Got some steak up here.
Actually, that's the way that I like it.
Yeah, this is a nice sandwich. Guess I'll turn this marinara sauce on. I have some linguine I cooked off also. Just to expedite things. Take a little bit of this, just enough to serve with the sandwich. I don't want it all watery, so I'll just dip it in the water right now, and guess I can spare a couple more strands, huh? Let's get the water off. We're also going to finish that with a little Parmesan. All right, let's finish the steak sandwich, which is the bottom here.
Well, this is a nice alternative to a hamburger. And that's,
Oh, it's
that's
great.
so stock and traditional.
Oh, I know, but then with this here, the sandwiches are made already,
Yeah.
and you don't have to deal with anyone going, "Can you toast my bun? I don't want cheese. Can you take it off?" I mean, forget it. Here, make your own, for crying out loud. But it's great for a barbecue. And, you know, different, I like to put some of these sandwiches out for a party that's a larger party where you had nowhere for everyone to sit.
Right.
Sometimes we like to cut these little sandwiches into little 2-inch sandwiches, serve a couple types of salad and a couple types of pasta, where you would, you basically would take a plate and can put it on your lap, you know. You don't feel like you have to cut something and balance it on somebody's 13-inch TV set, you know, to eat. So we're trying to tell some of our guests that if they are having a larger party, sometimes it's good to have something with a little zip to it. I mean, this isn't like it's a 6-foot sub. We do put a little something into these sandwiches, and you can, you don't feel like you need groups of 6 and 8 cubbying off in the corner up here till mealtime is over. You can keep the party happening. Main thing is you don't need a knife. So let's get some of that fresh mozzarella out of here. It's in the water.
Let's do that.
Okay, we'll put a little on the board here. Let's take a couple slices of that. Nice and milky. And I think we'll put a little seasoning on top of here. I've been putting on just some salt and pepper and some granulated garlic. We'll little granulated garlic. I got to come up with some ideas for these pizzas. I want to start coming out with some real funky ideas. I don't know what to do. I don't think I'm going to go the pineapple Canadian bacon route, but we're gonna head in that direction a little bit. And now we have the scourge of my life, these caramelized onions.
I love those, Dan.
I know, as wonderful.
I love those.
As wonderful as they taste, I'm telling you, what an adventure these are. Oh my Lord. 2 hours, start to finish. We are making every attempt we can. This looks like it's about to fall over. I'll get the lid on quick. So there we have that sliced strip steak, fresh mozzarella, some caramelized onions. Let's give it a cut. Hopefully it'll be a clean cut. Come on, baby, go, go.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, we're there.
All right. All right, I'll get another plate. There we have that also. There we go. Let me finish the that linguine. I guess I need another fork. Just happen to have one over here. Little touch of Parmesan cheese. I love pasta with Parmesan. Some people like Romano, but Romano is a little too sharp for my palate. Just swish it around. This is a little more than I think we'll need.
So that's a nice compliment.
Yeah.
Out to the sandwich.
I feel that way too. Let's set a little of this al dente linguine. Got those nice imported tomatoes in the marinara sauce. I mean, we feel like we're taking this a step beyond a ham sandwich, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Let me get rid of some of this pasta so I can get some sauce on the top. Don't want to over sauce it. Put a little parsley on it as a garnish. A little freshly chopped parsley.
Putting on that green.
Putting that green on. Love that color. Actually, I'd go around the whole plate, but there you have it. We have a steak sandwich, fresh mozzarella, caramelized onions with a little sidecar of linguine marinara. Alrighty, you mentioned we have time to do a veal dish. I have a reasonably popular dish I've been asked by a couple of our viewers to do again. We call it a veal donici.
What does that mean?
I actually looked at a map of Italy one day, and I looked at different regions, and that word stood out, and we picked it, believe it or not. I shouldn't be saying that, but it's the truth. With our veal dishes, again, I'll say we like to just have a minimal amount of oil in the pan, okay? We want this thing very, 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 very hot. So we want to zip it in and out of that pan quickly. We've taken these veal scallopini, these veal cutlets, and we've put them some thinly sliced prosciutto. I don't know if you can even see it. We've tapped it into it. And we're just going to flour each side of it, sizzle it quick, and make a little dish out of it.
Ooh, and I love these things. Especially this season, because we've had such a mild winter. The season is early, which is great, because I've been going out for the last couple of weeks and picking these little guys up.
Right, right. These are a little bit smaller than they're almost what they call hotel primes. Where that came from, I'm not sure. We like primes, and they also have jumbos, and they also have what they call whales.
Wow.
Whales and the super jumbos, those they're come crawling out of the trunk of your car, you know.
Yeah.
But I feel like the very large ones are good for deep frying, big sandwich, romaine, tartar sauce, something like that. But we can get away with it with these little hotel primes. But something about 25% larger than each of these, I feel like they just work wonderfully in a pan, a little saute pan here. We have that little sauce we happened to make a little earlier before the show started. Geez, I'm telling you, I'd love to give you this recipe, but I just can't do it. I can't do it. We're going to add a little pinch of butter to that, and the butter.
Recipe. You never give that
This
up.
is one of these. This is one of these. Let's check the pan. You can see, once again, I managed to put too much oil in the pan. That's a lot of oil. We don't need that. Even if I add some back, that's okay. See, the little sauce is coming together as that butter melts, okay? And that pan is very hot over there for the veal. I like to, when I do a veal dish, I'll just shake the flour off. The chicken, I don't. Just seems to come out better. I don't know why. One of those quirky little things, or probably me. Okay, you can see that sauce is reasonably tight, right? And you can also see there's a little shrapnel in that sauce, all right? We want this nice and clean. Let me put the veal down for a second, I'll finish this dish. So I have this petite little strainer here. And that's what we'll do. We'll strain the sauce on top. You know, we just don't want this sauce real glommy. This is one of those restaurant things. All right. I'll take this veal off. It's almost too hot. Let's wiggle the sauce around. And there we have some soft-shell crabs. All right, this pan is very, very hot, and I'm going to put this prosciutto side down. I want to sear the prosciutto, okay? Get that flavor jumping. Most of the times you see this with a saltimbocca. Always put it away from you when you're putting something in a hot pan. And if you're adding any wine, always pull it away from the flame. That's very, very important. Oh. Boy, I'm telling you, I've been a real whiz on the course lately. I'm telling you, I think I'm going to start playing left-handed. I mean it. I'm horrible. I browned them most of the way on the first side. Cooked them most of the way on the first side. So we're just going to sizzle them a little bit on the second side.
And you can really see that prosciutto now.
Yes, good. Seared up nicely, okay? You got a little stock we're going to add. I have a little brown sauce over here, a little demi-glace. And what I should have added first before the stock, I guess I'll add right now. It's a little Marsala wine. I should have added that first to deglaze the bottom of the pan, but, you know, it's so wonderful and nice outside. I'm thinking about hitting the links, and this is what happens. You get distracted. We put a little touch of cream in here, and now a little salt. A little pepper, once again a little white pepper. I don't like discoloring the dish. We're also going to add a little eggplant to this dish.
It's an eggplant kind of day today.
Yes, eggplant. I'm going to add a little eggplant to it. I'm going to wet the one side because I'm going to put some Parmesan on top of this, a nice spicy Parmesan, and I want it to melt rapidly, and the liquid on top is going to help that along. And you can see this sauce with the cream and the butter has really come down. Once again, we don't want to make it too pasty. We want it, you know, supple, where it's got some consistency to it. Because as it cools off a little bit, it is going to... so it's a basic Marsala cream sauce, some veal, prosciutto, and eggplant.
Well, thank you again for Cooking with Dan Leslie. My name is Janet Rapasardi-Hoff, and we'll see you next week.